This project is absolutely perfect for anyone new to hand embroidery. YouTube now lets you change the audio track in settings for some other languages. Just touch the settings icon to see available languages. It's not just a creative delight, it's also a fantastic, tangible guide as you grow your embroidery skills. To start your stitch book, you'll need some thick off-white cotton canvas fabric. I prepared 10 pieces, each measuring about 5 inches by 3.5 inches. For every one of our 10 fabric pages, I've already applied a thin line of glue along all 4 edges. So with our 10 pages now perfectly prepared, we're ready to stitch our very first design, the running stitch. Also, I'll use my ruler to mark guide dots about 5 millimeters apart and number each stitch's diagram 1, 2, 3 for easy recognition. Time to get our thread ready. Embroidery floss typically comes in 6 strands. Now let's get ready to stitch. First, I've threaded my thin embroidery needle with all 6 strands of embroidery floss, and then I've tied a secure knot at the end of the thread to get started. Always watch carefully where my needle enters the fabric and where it exits. Observing this precise in and out motion is key to mastering each new stitch. Our very first stitch is the versatile running stitch using purple floss. It's a fundamental stitch, perfect for creating simple lines. We'll stitch a straight line first, using all 6 strands. Notice how beautifully thick and bold that line appears. I secure the thread with a knot at the back of the fabric, making sure it's nice and hidden by weaving the end through some of the stitches. Next, we'll stitch a gentle curved line of running stitches, but this time I'm using just 3 strands of floss. To separate them easily without tangles, gently pull one strand away from the bundle at a time. This really highlights how simply changing the number of floss strands can completely transform the look of your embroidery. See the clear difference? The 3-strand line is much finer and more delicate. Moving to our second stitch, the back stitch in green. This stitch forms a solid continuous line, making it ideal for outlines. We'll create a straight line first. Bring your needle up, then back down a stitch length away. Then come up another stitch length forward and finally go back down into the exact end of your previous stitch. You'll continue stitching this way, always bringing your needle back into the end of the stitch before it. After that, we'll stitch a pulse line of backstitch using 3 strands. It's the same technique, just with a more understated line. Once you're comfortable with straight and wavy lines, try using the backstitch to outline other simple shapes like squares, circles, or even letters. Our third stitch is the flowing stem stitch in brown. This stitch creates a lovely rope-like line, perfect for stems or elegant outlines. I'm demonstrating this one working from right to left. Bring your needle up. Take a small stitch forward, but as you pull through, ensure your working thread always stays below the needle's path. The stem stitch is an embroidery stitch that creates a rope-like line, perfect for stems or elegant outlines. This stitch is ideal for creating smooth flowing lines in your designs. It takes some practice, but it's a great time saver. We'll then stitch a graceful curved line using 3 strands. The stem stitch excels at curves, so practice this to create beautiful organic shapes. Next, we have the split stitch in maroon. This stitch creates a slightly textured, almost braided line, often used for outlines that you might later fill. We'll stitch a straight line first. Bring your needle up, make a stitch forward, but then bring your needle up through the very center of that previous stitch as you emerge for the next one. This splitting of the thread gives it its unique texture. After the straight line, we'll stitch a charming heart shape using 3 strands. The split stitch is fantastic for filling in areas smoothly too. Just stitch rows of it close together. Be gentle as you split the previous stitch to avoid fraying your threads too much. Now for the incredibly versatile straight stitch with blue floss. This is simply a direct line of thread from one point to another. It's super easy and a building block for so many designs. We'll stitch 3 parallel straight lines with all 6 strands. After that, we'll arrange straight stitches radiating around a central dot to form a lovely circle using 3 strands. The beauty of the straight stitch lies in its simplicity. It's used for details like flower stamens, textures when layered, or creating sharp points. Onto our 6th stitch, the chain stitch in orange. This stitch forms a beautiful linked line resembling a delicate chain, ideal for outlines or filling larger areas. Bring your needle up, create a loop with your thread, gently hold it down, insert the needle back down exactly where you came up, and then bring it up again a short distance away, inside that loop. Pull gently to form your first link. Watch that precise needle movement. To create even chain stitches, try to keep the size of your loop consistent before you pull the needle through. We'll stitch a straight line using 6 strands and then some lovely curve shapes with 3 strands. Chain stitch is also fantastic for filling shapes when stitched in rows. Next, the blanket stitch in dark brown. This stitch is perfect for neat edges, decorative borders, or holding appliques in place. It creates a series of neat loops along a line. We'll create some gentle curved lines of blanket stitch using 3 strands first. Bring your needle up from the top line. Go over to the bottom line, insert your needle and bring it out on the top line again, ensuring your working thread loops under the needle. This stitch is great for defining edges, so ensure your stitches are evenly spaced along the edge line. It creates a series of neat loops along a line. For the second demonstration, we'll stitch around all 4 edges of this fabric piece using all 6 strands of floss. This shows you how effectively it can finish an edge for things like small patches or appliques. Our 8th stitch is the lovely Lazy Daisy stitch in pink. First, we'll stitch 4 different sizes of Lazy Daisy, ranging from small to large to showcase its adaptability. Bring your needle up, create a loop. Insert back down where you came up and come up inside the loop a bit further along. Pull gently to form the petal, then secure it with a tiny tacking stitch. This stitch creates a beautiful petal shape, making it ideal for flowers, individual leaves, or decorative accents. After that, we'll assemble a charming small flower by placing several Lazy Daisy stitches around a central dot using 3 strands. You can even make rows of Lazy Daisy stitches for beautiful wavy borders. The tacking stitch at the end of the loop is crucial for holding the petal shape. Next up, the fly stitch in green. Bring your needle up, take a diagonal stitch, then another diagonal stitch meeting in the middle, and finally, tack it down with a small straight stitch. We'll stitch 4 different sizes of fly stitches, from large to small, using 6 strands to demonstrate the varied scale. This stitch creates a distinct V shape, often used for leaves, small flying birds, scattered motifs, or decorative accents. The length of your tacking stitch can change the look of the V. A longer tack will open it up more. After that, we'll stitch a full leaf shape using 3 strands of floss. You can vary the size of each fly stitch to follow the natural curves of your leaf, making it wider at the base and narrower towards the tip. The small gaps between individual fly stitches can add to the organic texture of the leaf. You can even use them to create branching effects for little trees. The fly stitch is incredibly versatile. Try stitching rows of them to fill larger areas, or scatter individual ones to create a textured background. Finally, our 10th and final stitch for this book, the delightful French knots with light purple floss. We'll stitch 5 different French knots, varying the number of wraps around the needle from 1 to 5, so you can clearly see how the size of the knot changes. First, I'm stitching a French knot by wrapping the thread once around the needle. See how small and neat it is. Now for the next one, I'm wrapping the thread twice around the needle. This makes the knot a bit larger. We'll continue this to demonstrate knots with more wraps. These little knots add wonderful texture and are perfect for filling small spaces, creating details like flower centers, or adding dimension to designs. A key tip for perfect French knots: keep a consistent, gentle tension on your working thread as you wrap it and pull the needle through. After that, we'll fill a small circle entirely with 3 strands of French knots to show their beautiful filling capability. All our stitches for this first lesson are complete. Now for the satisfying final step, assembling our very own stitch book. First, I'm gently ironing each fabric piece to make sure any pen marks completely disappear. Then, I've taken a sturdy cardboard cover and glued one of our fabric pieces onto it. Before I glued the fabric, I stitched the title "My First Stitch Book" onto the cover fabric using simple straight stitches. Now I'm gathering all 10 fabric pages, aligning them neatly inside the cover, and using a larger needle and strong thread to stitch through all the layers. And there you have it, my first stitch book. It's such a creative, memorable, and artistic craft, and it's truly a perfect starting point for any embroidery beginner. I hope you're excited to continue this series with me as we explore even more stitches in future videos.